Hey everybody, and welcome back to The Walking David. In this episode, I'm going to be reviewing the premiere of Season 2 of The Walking Dead. Quick, synopsis! The group chooses to head to Fort Benning. Traffic jams in the apocalypse suck because all the drivers are dead.
Help, my kid is
Oh, what the fuck's going on up here? A herd comes through and leaves our motley crew of survivors underneath their cars. Sophia gets spooked and chased by two walkers. Rick catches up to her in the woods. He tries to lead the walkers away. He tells her to stay put, and if she can't stay put for some reason, then to head back to the highway with the sun on her left shoulder. No chance of a kid forgetting that when they're terrified. They start searching for Sophia. They hear some church bells. They think it might be her. It's not. Fucking bells are on an automatic timer. It's a bad Daryl impression. I'm working on it. Rick, Shane, and Carl keep looking for Sophia. Lori sucks always. Remember that. They see a deer in the woods. Carl's about to have his first great moment as a child. Boom. Carl gets shot. So my thoughts on the episode. Considering it's just Season 2, this is a pretty good premiere episode. A lot of what you would hope in a premiere, a lot of exposition. For instance, they're trying to head to Fort Benning. They deem the walkers, like a group of walkers, as a herd, and that term will be used a lot more throughout the series. Yeah, everybody, we're starting to incorporate the vocabulary. You know, if there wasn't a zombie culture in this world before, we're making one. Character analysis. Rick does a great job of being a leader, being a quick thinker. Dale is pretty good at getting the group to help look for things in all these cars that are kind of abandoned on the highway. Lori sucks. Carol is a nervous wreck. Sophia doesn't handle the herd very well. Carl does a really good job, though, of looking really mesmerized by this deer, this symbol of life. It was a really eerie moment when he actually got shot. Like how quickly you're reminded that this world is not fair. A lot of this episode, many of these episodes are the same, but this one in particular deals with adversity and how the characters overcome it. For example, in the Season 1 finale, they lose the CDC. They lost their safe haven. Rick chooses to handle adversity as pressing on. You can't do anything about it, so you might as well just keep moving forward. I mean, what else can you do? Because you either live and fight or you die. And that becomes a recurring motif throughout the entire series. Sophia doesn't handle adversity well at all. Now, granted, she's a child, but even in this apocalyptic world, she is extremely sheltered by Carol and by the group. Everybody's so protective of her. She's not given opportunities to take hold of the wheel and steer this car back on course. She's just stuck in the kid seat in the back and just watches the car veer off and crash, and so to speak. So she's just sort of confined to being a child, and nobody gives her a chance to be a grown-up. We see that Shane actually does have some genuine feelings for Lori, at least so it seems, or sex has obviously complicated their relationship, and he can't, separate the two. Plus, he has a history with Lori. He's known her for a long time, and I think even though she's not the last woman on Earth, it would be a lot easier to be with somebody who you have a history with than meeting somebody new. Like dating in the apocalypse. Don't recommend it. We also see Rick kind of begrudgingly praying. He kind of has this monologue or this soliloquy to this Jesus statue. He's not really sure if there's even any point to being a believer. And justifiably so. I mean, the stuff that this guy has seen, why wouldn't you be questioning what you believe? He's not much of a believer, but he still asks, he's like, for some sort of sign from the universe to show him that there's still something out there worth fighting for. And then not 10 minutes later, when they see that deer, Carl gets shot. And it just unravels Rick. It completely just breaks through this facade of, I know what the fuck's up, and I know what's going on, and I know all the answers, and I can figure out a solution to finding Sophia and finding a safe place and getting us there safely. This shatters all of that, and he becomes a broken man. He thinks that he has just lost his son. And it's going to be interesting to see where we go from here and how that moment affects his character, because it is a big turning point And it's something that he will never forget. And if Carl were to make it through this, it would be the very thing that he needed to grow up. Sort of like Sophia. Sophia almost needs something that traumatic to grow up. Something to force you to go, yeah, look, you are not a child. There are no such thing as children in this world. Because your life isn't going to be long enough for you to grow up and be old. You're going to be constantly fighting to stay alive. And so you're constantly going to have to prove that you are a grown-up, you can make grown-up decisions, and that you can survive on your own. Thank you, everybody, for watching this episode of The Walking David, and I'll see you next time. Peace. God damn it, Sophia. I told you to stay safe.